Well, hello, Sharks. My name is Miss Phannie.
And I'm her beloved Finn.
And we are the creators of Phannie's Fancy's Boozy Jams and Jellies.
And what are Boozy Jams and Jellies, do you ask?
It's a collection of homemade, locally sourced jams and jellies with a boozy twist. And we are here to ask you to join us. And we are asking for a $60,000 investment for a 10% share.
We also need to get a van that will allow us to make deliveries. I mean, using our car isn't doing too well to effectively take care of our customers.
So how did Phannie's Fancy's Boozy Jams and Jellies start, you ask? Well, I remember as a little girl growing up in Kingnetic, Maine, and my grandmother with a community of local women, we would all go to the side of Mount Katahdin where there was many bushes of beautiful blueberries, and we would pick blueberries for days. And then we would go back to my Nana's house and we would make blueberry jam for all the community.
Now fast forward to 4 years ago, I opened up a food truck, and I always wanted to have some sort of a really neat twist to these burgers when I made them. It was a gourmet burger truck. And one of my customers said that they wanted to have a Hawaiian burger. Now instead of just putting a piece of pineapple on top of a burger, I thought I might try something different. And then Phannie suggested, hey, why don't you use this pina colada jam that I know how to make? Well, we did it, and it turned out to be an amazing success. And so that's when it started. And basically, our customers started saying, my gosh, this is amazing. How can we actually, buy this stuff? And we actually started selling it off the truck. And that's where we started. From there, we went to 35 stores all over New Hampshire.
It was a great success for sure. We were cooking for 35 stores within the state of New Hampshire, and then we had our aha moment. So we had a merchant, her name was Miss Becky, and she goes, you know what, Miss Phannie? She goes, I can find blueberry jam anywhere. She goes, but you know what I can't find anywhere? And she says, boozy blueberry jam. From there, we transformed our company into Boozy Jams and Jellies.
We also branched out to local wineries and breweries to start making scrumptious wine and beer jellies. I tell you, you're really going to try that stuff. And when we moved to Gettysburg, we started immediately getting into the local gift shops here, and we got our first grocery store chain, and that's in 5 locations.
Where we shine is we offer pop-up boutiques here in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. So what we do is we set up our tent in front of historical sites. We also offer a complimentary tasting to each and every one of our merchants. And we offer marketing materials as well. So what this does is not only does it launch the brand, but it also creates a reorder. So let's get down to the most important part, the numbers. Since June of 2016, we have profited $115,000. 2019 being our best year ever, we sold 7,400 jars. So that's $45,000 gross and $29,000 net. Our projected sales for 2020 is $147,000. This is to fulfill agreements with large corporations who own several gift shops across America, and also to set up 3 more locations of our local grocery store. Then in 2020, we're projecting a 20% growth, also expanding into the UK.
Now you may notice that these jellies are named Phannie's Battlefield Jams as opposed to Phannie's Boozy Jams and Jellies. That's because we like to actually name them after the different areas that we're actually selling in. For example, these are all done in Gettysburg, so everything is all kind of set up to kind of highlight the different aspects of Gettysburg itself. And also, everything is all kind of marked, all Gettysburg made, no matter what. And the situation is that when the tourists come here, they love it because they actually get a piece of Gettysburg. And the locals, well, they love it because it's local. All right, so how did this all start? Well, this all started back when I was in high school. Now, I've always been a history geek. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but I've been reenacting since I was 14 years old. I started back during the bicentennial, which unfortunately kind of dates me a little bit. And I used to do comics all the time. And one of the comics I did was called Fuggenberg. And it was based on this Wild West town out there. And I had all these awesome characters from that area. And when I made my food truck later on, I decided that, hey, what am I going to call it? And I thought, well, Fuggenburger. And I thought that would make a nice fit. And it did. And I used all of the characters from that comic
as the different to represent different things on my menu on my truck. So it worked out really well, and it was really kind of fun, and everybody really liked it. And I decided that even though, because I dress like this all the time, that's just me, that when I was on the food truck, I would always be dressed up. And of course, because Phannie was with me, she always dressed up too. And then I guess it kind of goes to her right now.
So a little bit more about our love story. It's interesting because Phineas and I actually worked at the same restaurant when we were both very young. So it seemed like we paralleled each other's lives through our adulthood, and we both raised 5 beautiful children, and we now also have 3 beautiful grandchildren. And so I was fascinated with the whole historical, antique, Victorian kind of vibe. So my choice was to set up Miss Phannie with the Victorian type of look. And my favorite look is the Edwardian look, because that was just a beautiful time where women were elegant. And it seems that our customers really pulled towards a little bit of Mary Poppins, a little bit of Disney. So from there, we decided to create a Victorian historical kind of vibe for our all-natural jams and jellies.
And basically the thing is that when we're out there, of course we're all dressed up, and the people really enjoy that, and it really kind of draws them in, and we just kind of play with the characters and things like that. And it's just the way it's always been. And now people just kind of expect to see us. In fact, it's kind of rare people will see us in regular clothes and they'll go, "Oh my God, that's you. I didn't even recognize you because I usually see you dressed up." So, and of course, now being in Gettysburg, back in New Hampshire, I was that guy. Now here, I'm one of those guys because a lot of people dress up here all the time. So it just kind of goes along with the whole flow, and we think it really adds something to the whole fun and the whole mystique of Phannie's Fancy's Boozy Jams and Jellies, because it really kind of harkens back to that time when this stuff was taken a lot more seriously, it seems, and how people really kind of put a lot of quality and a lot of fun into making their jellies and jams.
Also, when you're visiting Gettysburg, of course, there's nothing more special than to get a picture with Miss Phannie and Phineas. It's very exciting, and plus we're peddlers on the sidewalks here in Gettysburg, and it's really just beautiful and fascinating to our customers.
So why don't you guys get on board and get in on this wonderful chance to be a part of Phannie's Fancy's Boozy Jams and Jellies. I mean, who doesn't like the idea, once again, of a boozy jam and jelly?
That's right.
Hope to see you soon.
See you soon.